for having me here tonight. The police department, you know, I've been there for the last 23 years, and we've seen this need over and over and over. And part of it's just the parking issues downtown. You know, as if you've come to visit us in the police department for whatever reason, you've been a victim, or if you come in to pay any registration fees or anything like that, you'll know that finding a place just to park to come in and do business with us is difficult. The new facility will take care of that need. We have, I think, 35 spaces out front of the new one for just the public to park in. Our training room, like tonight, we have the Citizens Police Academy that will be going on. We do it once a year for about a 6-month period, and we can have about 25 people in our facility, and that's the biggest room we have. The new facility, I think, will have up to about 60 people. Other little things like just officers coming and going, leaving from the police department, going to emergency calls. I've been in cars where you're almost hitting people because you're trying to get out and you're trying to get down the one way, and you've got pedestrians coming over on 5th Street, and you're trying not to hit any of them. We're trying to be safe about it. This will take care of a lot of those issues as well. We're very fortunate to have a city staff and city council that's supportive of this. You know, we're looking at just even the little things that you don't think about every day when we bring in people into the facility to interview them. Right now we have to come through the front doors, we have to take them down a hallway to the back of the police department. The new facility, they'll be right off the lobby there where we can bring them right into a room right there. For victims, that's a big deal. Even for suspects, it's a big deal for us because we're not bringing murder suspects, which we've brought all the way through our police department, who are violent people at times. We don't know when they're going to become violent, but we're trying to interview them, and we got them on the internal portion of our facility. This will also take care of some of that. Our evidence storage, you know, it's been an issue. We had a brand new locker room for our female officers. We had to actually move them into another room, remodel it for them because of the way that we have to keep our facilities, our evidence stuff. We just didn't have enough room for it anymore. You know, we were talking about the different cases, how long you got to keep different things. Homicide cases, we still have all of the evidence from our homicide cases because, you know, we have all the appeals and all the different things that are going on. We can't just get rid of that stuff, so we still have all of that in our evidence rooms, and it takes up a lot of space. But this new facility is going to take care of a lot of that for us, and it will allow us to be able to have a state-of-the-art evidence room. And they have different lore systems that we'll put in there that actually save space for us. So there's a lot of things that this new facility is going to give us that we're overcrowded. We don't have room for all of our equipment. As they talked about, I put on a different belt, and I built walls, and I make a joke of it now. When Chief Duke was there, he had us do some remodeling that he paid for, and I did all the remodeling in his office, and I thought it was kind of funny that then I become the chief. I got to, I'm glad I did a good job of it. So, you know, it's little things like that that the new facility will take care of. Heating and cooling. There's times in my office during the wintertime I'll sit there and I'll have to have my coat on because we can't get the heat to kick on properly, and it's cold in our facility. And then in the summertime, we can't get the air conditioning to kick on, which the remodeling of this will take care of that for that building, as well as the new facility won't have that problem. So is there any questions, though, as we're going? Any questions for me that you have?
I think my one question is, what is the feeling about not having the word police downtown in terms of the behaviors that happen? You're right by the garden, you're right by John's Alley, you're right by a lot of the activity spaces where in a college town we have the most chances for people that are, you know, drinking a little too much and enjoying themselves to get to frisky business downtown.
Well, I guess I can answer that, and I'm proud to say, you know, there's some communities you go to and you can drive around all day long and you never see a police officer. Moscow police officers are out. We're out a lot. And during the bar breaks and during the big events downtown, we are present. We're down there. We're on foot. We're on bike. We're patrolling around. So I understand what you're saying. And would it be ideal to have the facility right downtown?
Well, it
yeah.
feels like a kiosk or something. It
Yeah.
feels like, you know, this is your little, like, a 911 station downtown or something, so that there's
Other than the police building, not saying police anymore, I think you will still feel the exact same presence of us downtown. We're, like I said, we're very active. We have individuals who love to get out and meet the community and be on patrol. And so I don't think you will actually feel any different other than the fact that the building's not there.
What's the target, if this bond passes, what is the target completion timeframe?
I believe 2021.
Yeah, if it's approved, we will be designing it through the summer and fall, start construction. Maybe there's something to go on the site in the fall, but about the spring of 2020, we will begin and move in 2020.
Okay.
I have three questions. One is for you, Oxifry. I know you have some programs where you are working to engage some of our youth in positive ways. Is this new facility going to help broaden that in terms of some of the mentorship programs that you do and the youth ride-alongs, that kind of stuff? Is that something that's in the works?
I think those programs will continue to grow. You know, we have the Explorers program that we just started this year, and I think we have 6 or 7 individuals, and I can see those growing with time. Where we don't have the room now, that'll continue. But just having the space to be able to open up to the community and have a meeting room that you can have 60 people in is a benefit to us. And that'll also be open for the community use at times too, if people need to use it. Because the way that it's designed, you actually go up a side stairwell out of the lobby, and the police department is locked on the other side. So we can come through the police department into it, but it's actually another training room that even the community would be able to use at times when we're not using it. So it's going to be a multi-use facility there.
My next question is, are the costs of this project reflective of the increased costs of materials that we've recently experienced with the
Would someone repeat the question, please?
Yes. The question was, do the estimates reflect proposed costs of inflation or increased costs of materials? And the answer is yes. We've looked at it. We have, I can't remember the per square foot cost, but we looked at it from the perspective of what are the costs today. We engaged an architect to assist us in coming up with that per square foot cost. And as I said, we put enough in there that we're certain that we've got enough funding to do the job.
Excellent. And my last question is, it looks like with the footprint that it will allow for future growth in our community, so that if you need to add on another building, am I right in my assessment of that? That it's purposeful in that regard?
Yeah, there is an empty lot just to the south, and that is not a lot that we've purchased. That might be available. There is enough room on the site that if something needed to happen, you could probably expand. We believe that this is right-sized for the police use for the next 30 years at least. So we believe that based upon our facility study, based upon our expected growth of the community and services provided by the police department, this facility should meet that need well into the future.
For the couple people in here I may not know, my name is John Kimberling. I'm one of 10 of your neighbors that's volunteered to serve on a task force in support of the bond levy. And you could do us a favor or two. For one thing, there are 2 open houses. We just finalized the dates and locations for those today. And I'd love it if you tell your neighbors and friends that are interested to get more information. And this is on our website, I'll tell you about in a second, but the first one's on April 16th out of the Best Western. And then I think that's a Thursday if I'm not mistaken, maybe it's a Tuesday. But, and then the second one is on April 30th in the lobby of the chamber downtown. So we created a name for ourselves, it's called Safer Moscow. And our website is safermoscow.org. There's a lot of outstanding information there that complements what's on the city's website. From that website, you can go right back to the city's website, so you can kind of go back and forth and get all the information you need. Something else that we're very close to being able to do is we've been raising some money, And one of our goals, one of the things we want to do is send a postcard to every one in the city limits that has an approved form from the county to request an absentee ballot. So if you want an absentee ballot, you'll get our postcard in the mail. All you'll have to do is write your name, address on it. I think it requires a signature, put a stamp on it, mail it to the county, and you'll get an absentee ballot. So if you know you're going to be out of town, or that would be more convenient for somebody who's maybe homebound, then we're trying to make it as easy as we can for you to participate in the election. And then a couple questions, well, one more question is, well, first of all, one other side benefit of this, it's down the list of ways, but parking, availability of parking downtown also comes up frequently. This is going to free up, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 spots downtown, because the spots in front of the current police station won't be needed for the police cars, and all the police staff, the support staff that naturally need to park downtown will be able to park at the new facility. So I think we could justifiably say it'll take a little pressure off the downtown parking. And then, just the one question I had is, I believe right now the city actually is renting some office space, which doesn't always get taxpayers as excited as they like. Will the approval of this in time, once we get into the new facility, will we need to continue to rent space?
No.
Good.
John, good question, John, and that's exactly right. I said that earlier in the remarks, that we have actually gone out and have had to lease places in order to have enough office room. And once we get this facility, the new police station, and get our facilities remodeled, like we've said, we feel like that's going to take care of us for several decades. That portion of it in this police department, as far as I'm concerned, this looks like a 40, 50, 60-year process for us in the future, folks. So that's an important point. Thanks, John. Susan, I'm going to be next.
Hi, I have 3 questions. The first one for our chief. You've done a really good job talking about the public benefit, but I'd like to know more about the benefit in the new facility for staff. So are there some positive impacts related to shift work and staff morale? That's question 1.
I can just talk about the morale. Our new officers, and some of us that have been around a long time, are very excited about having a new facility. There's a little bit of class to go to where you work and the facility you're in. You know, right now we have 3 sergeants in one office. It's about a 10 by 10. We have 3 corporals in another office. It's about a 10 by 10. All their equipment, all of their file cabinets and stuff, because they're keeping different records on employees because they're supervisors. All that stuff will be expanded out to where that we will be able to put our sergeants not in their own offices, but it'll be a bigger office to where that they have the room to do the work. Right now we have all of our report writing room where our officers write the reports, which is a lot of what we do during the downtime. It's going to expand and get bigger too. So everything from not being overcrowded with, every time you turn around, you're bumping into somebody, to bigger bathroom spaces, to bigger locker rooms. Right now, we have met the max space that we have for our locker rooms, both male and female. So we're out of room. I'm not sure where we're going to, if we have to hire more officers, I'm not sure where we're going to put them. We won't have that issue because of the new facility. There's ample room for that too.
My next question is that every project is scalable. So where does this price tag fall on the scale?
Need to understand the question.
Sure. So every project's scalable, meaning you've got a price tag for what you might call bare bones essentials. You've got to have it.
Yes.
You've got kind of middle of the scale where really would need this, and then you've got kind of the pie in the sky. Where does this fall?
Yeah, I would say this is, if you're talking about cars, this is a Chevy. It's not a Cadillac. If you ever go to Washington D.C. or Boise, you see some of the public buildings and you're just amazed at how they can put that kind of money in a public structure. Yeah, it's nice, but it isn't something that we can afford to do. So we look at utility. How do we get the most space in a durable facility that provides the types of things that we need? In my business, they call it gingerbread. You have too much gingerbread in the project. This one doesn't. It's got some style to it. It's got some glass, so it's nice and open. But no, it doesn't have a lot of luxuries in it. And that was something we looked at as we look at the per square foot cost. We needed it to make sense. If I could for a second too, I'd like to return to the question that the chief, you asked the chief, and that is that it's no secret that law enforcement is having a tough time recruiting these days. We read about it every day in the paper. We went through it in the early 2000s. We're seeing it again. And it isn't just Moscow, it's Seattle, it's LA, it's all these places. And it's not just about money. They want to have pride in where they are, and they want to have pride with where they work. Having a facility that makes them feel like this community values me makes recruiting easier for us.
I want to add something to that. One of the things that we know that we need to do, if we build a police station for our needs right now, it would be outdated in 10, 15, 20 years. So we also have to look forward to the future and say, what are we going to get the best bang for our buck for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years? And that's how we look at that. And so that's a big thing for us, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure, no, this is not the Cadillac version of it. This is what we need, and is what we need for future growth for part of our infrastructure as well.
Thank you. My last question is, looking at the verbiage on the proposed ballot language, it looks like there is a yes and a no
Yes.
answer.
Oh, yes, I can answer that one.
You anticipate the question?
Yes, yes, yes. The top one's yes, the bottom one's no. Those guys can't say that. I can, because I'm not held by law. So am I in favor of this? Absolutely. And so that's what I'm hoping for. These two guys are kind of on the spot with that, but it makes this right thing and the right decision for our town. So.
That wasn't my question.
Oh, that was your question. You made a mistake, gave me the microphone back.
He does the same thing to me.
I do it all the time.
My own personal feeling about the project aside, what is the city's plan should this not pass? What's your plan be?
Well, we take our direction from the city council, and in the strategic plan, unless they change it, we will go back to the drawing board and we will keep bringing proposals forward that get a new police facility. As I said before, finding a place to put a police station is tough. You know, we could have gone out on Clouse River Drive or, north on 95 to the point where, is it really a city police station? It's more of a remote location, and then you, as Jenny was talking about, or someone just said, having something downtown so that people feel like if they do something, the police will respond. So that's very important. So unless the council tells us no, then we will continue to bring proposals to them.
First of all, the task force, I think it's great that you're doing everything to get people to vote, because the League of Women Voters is all about voting. And what we like is people to be informed before they mark that box. And I'm disappointed that this room isn't full, but I'm glad there's a couple other opportunities where people can learn and make their decision whether they want to vote yes or no. But as far as those parking spaces, I won't make a left turn off of any of those streets onto Washington. Without a light. I don't care if it's first, second, fourth, fifth, or seventh. That's scary stuff. And I don't have a gumball on top to make little lights go either. So you can keep those spaces. But a new facility, everybody likes their city to look great. I mean, you're proud of that. When you have nice public facilities, everybody's proud of that. And I think everybody would like to see new facilities. The scary thing is like was mentioned earlier, there's going to be, I don't know when, but a request for a jail. And our schools are all old, and there's going to be some other bonds that are going to be coming around. So that's kind of that's kind of a little bit of a scary thing as far as this dollars amount. Because you know what, believe it or not, people really get upset about their taxes going up. Believe it or not. But now, so this, would this bond then, should it pass, would that be reflected on our 2019 taxes, which would be first half due in December?
Don't quote me since I'm not the assessor, but I
Well, the
believe.
treasurer will tell you.
Treasurer, okay. I believe that they'll be reflected in your 2020 taxes.
So it'd be a year and a half before we see that?
That's what I think, so I could be dead wrong, I'm not in that business.
Probably a good thing to find out, because
Yeah.
people actually do get upset when their taxes go up.
I want to address something, Susan, too, is, look, as a community, you're right, schools, how many years have we talked about schools? My oldest boy graduated up here in 1984, we didn't do high school back then, for crying out loud. The point is, we've got to start somewhere, and you've got different taxing agencies. This is strictly for the city. When the school bond eventually comes out, whenever that happens, you know, that'll be their entire district, which will go all the way through Viola and around, halfway to Troy, halfway to Genesee, so on and so forth. And same thing with the county. The county will have a little bit of a different thing than what we have as a city, because they may have a chance at like a local option thing, because by state, they are required to have a jail. And so, but that's a gray area right now, we don't know that. So, hey, look, and I'll tell you something else too. My belief is, I think by the time the school district really gets around and puts something together, by the time they find the property they want and get all the good structures in place, I think we're gonna be 4 or 5 years into this bond. I think it's gonna be half paid for, so.
And then only 3 more years and it's paid for, right?
Well, there you have it.
4 or 5 years and
Yeah.
3 more.
My question is probably directed to you, Mr. Reader. The one thing about luxury, you commented that public buildings in and of themselves are not supposed to be the most luxurious, maybe the most comfortable. But let's talk about energy efficiency. This is an area in which sustainability, energy efficiency, a lot of people are interested in that. And it's been my experience, or at least I've been told, that if you take a standard building and if you make it energy efficient, and that can be, there are standards for this, that it may add 1 to 2% onto the cost of the building. Now that's what I've been told, I'm certainly no expert. All I've seen related to energy efficiency or sustainability about this building is the fact that you're going to try to use the best light bulbs that you can. Well, there's more to a building than just light bulbs. Would you comment on that?
Yeah. Tyler Palmer was here addressing this body, I think about a week ago, and talked about the efforts of the city that were started with Mayor Cheney in becoming sustainable and more environmentally friendly. And the city's made great strides. We continue that work. This building, this is conceptual at this point. It hasn't been, and I don't know if your 1 or 2% increase to make it more energy efficient is correct or not, but we will do everything we can to make it as efficient as possible. Now, one of the things that we look at is when you talk about LEED certification, for instance. You can build to a LEED certificate standard, but it's the certifying process that costs the money. So a lot of places, the state of Idaho, University of Idaho, I believe, did it for a while, built to those standards, but didn't get the certification because it was a lot of money for a stamp on the side of the building. So we have every intention to make it as efficient as possible. Now, there will be some choices in there. There may be some things that, yeah, we can get a little more energy efficiency out of it, but it's going to cost a whole lot more money. Those decisions will be made as the design progresses. But again, this is conceptual at this point.
I would make one comment to Sue, and that is, remember our property taxes are always 6 months behind. When you pay in June 20, you're paying for the last 6 months of 2018. So this could take a while to catch up to you whenever they assess it.
Thank you. That would be 19.
I know one thing, this new building will be a lot more efficient than the old one we have. I can tell you that, you guys walk through there, you just blow a candle out. John, you
I was just gonna,
Well, go ahead, then I was gonna have a question.
I love to just add the fact that, and maybe Gary remembers what year it was that we built fire station number 3. I also served on that task force, and we passed that with either 82 or 84%. I can't remember. This community gets it about the importance of public safety. And so that's why I'm really super optimistic with all the good work the city's done here that we're going to get this passed. That's personal opinion, not anything other than that.
Hi, I'm Bill Gordon, and so when we were looking at the slides a little bit earlier, did I see that at least, was it 2/3 of the people have to be voting on this? Did I read that right?
2/3, we need a 66.7% in order for the thing to pass. So in other words, 67% of those that vote. So for every 100 people that vote, we need 67 yeses.
Okay, good.
That's the point. So we don't need 67% of the total registered voters in the city of Moscow. That's what we don't
That's
need.
the way that I read it.
Okay,
Good.
all right, very good. Good point, good question.
Thanks.
Just out of curiosity, how much is this election itself going to be costing the taxpayers? Then I have a follow-up.
Do you have that number in your head? Yeah, the county actually runs the elections anymore. That change has been 7 or 8 years ago, as I recall. Information, that sort of thing, Murph, probably, I would say $10,000 by the time we get the informational materials out and those sorts of things. But John's group will be the ones that advocate. That's what they do. As a government, we can't advocate. Our time is spent. We won't incur any finance charges. We have a financial professional assisting us. When it passes, we will have to get the bond sold and that sort of thing. That it's Piper Jaffray out of Boise. They will not get paid unless the bond passes. We also have a bond counsel, bond attorney, and giving us advice throughout the process. Again, they'll get paid unless the bond passes. So fairly minimal cost, but mostly it's generating information. Any other questions? Well, again, I want to thank you very much for inviting us here tonight. Again, visit the city's website. You thought the chief looked good on that video. You go see